So it might be possible to tell like a good spy story.
Yeah.
Well, let me put it this way. It is possible to tell good spy stories.
Is it possible for Marvel Studios to tell
nah,
a good spy story? Is that what you're saying?
I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
You just wanted to throw it out there because you knew I would say it. Yeah, more the character.
Yeah,
That's my characteristic.
I'm
I'm
be more
that
blunt
person.
about it.
Yeah.
No, they can't.
This is Geek Off The Street, your go-to channel for all things from obscure geekdom to modern-day pop culture and everything else in between.
What's up, everybody?
Hello.
Hey, we're back.
One more again.
One more again. We're back.
Yeah, we
we're
are.
Back to do this podcast.
Yes.
As we are every week.
Yeah, we are.
Because my name's Trent.
And my name is Mark.
And this is
Geek Off The Street.
Greatest podcast of all time. It's about pop culture, geek culture, whatever else we want. Today is no exception.
Amen.
Today we are being really informative, if I do say so myself, helping
welcome.
you guys out.
Keeping it green.
Yeah, because as you guys know, as of this recording, Secret Invasion.
Just came out on
yeah.
Disney Plus, June 21st, I think,
Yes.
Wednesday.
Yeah, a couple days ago.
First episode.
First episode came out, and we thought it'd be a good idea to give you guys some context about what the series is based on.
Yes.
Which is the Secret Invasion comic book.
Right.
From 2008.
And the infamous bad guys
Yeah.
in that.
The Skrulls.
The Skrulls.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Skrulls.
Yeah, they are devastating.
Yeah.
They put in some work in this.
Yeah.
But we're going to give you guys some information on that.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys can have a little bit of little more info going into the series.
Right.
Just so you're not completely in the dark. Although I don't know how much it's going to play.
Yeah, true enough.
Similarities,
True enough. Yeah, right.
So far. But we'll get into all that.
Yeah, just getting started. So we'll see.
But first, how are we doing this week, Mark?
How are we doing and what we're drinking too?
Oh,
yeah.
I missed it too.
That's why I'm here. I got your back.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, this week is a good week. It was a hectic week. Very busy week. I do not know how much sleep I got this entire week. But it's a good week because I got family in town
very
from
cool.
North Carolina. What's up? So
gotcha.
everybody, so Kim, Keith, Haley, Hayden, welcome back to California, guys.
I told my dad you had family from South Carolina, so that was way wrong.
Well, 50-50 shot.
Oh, I guess
It's not way.
I mean, in the measurement of the rest of the United States, yeah, it's pretty close.
You're
Even
good.
as shares one of the same names,
Right,
but,
so it's not bad. It could have been worse. It could have been worse.
Yeah,
Could have said Guam or something. It's like, that doesn't even make sense, Trent.
got a family from the Northwest Territories.
Yeah, they're dog sledding. Yeah. Right all the way here. But no, so it is good for that reason. Very hectic, very busy still. A lot going on at work, but still good. Yeah.
Very cool.
It made it worth it, them coming out here and being able to hang out with them. And
Very nice.
Yeah, their daughters are like soccer all-stars out there. I mean, so much so.
Oh, they're playing.
They're coming from North Carolina. They're coming out here.
Wow.
For a tournament out in San Diego. So.
Wow. Very
you know
cool.
what they're doing, yeah. But they sound like they take it pretty seriously. They're young, but they're really good. So it's very
nice.
cool. Very
Probably
cool.
Some Team USA future
Yeah,
players
exactly.
Here, huh?
Man. That's not too far off. So
we guys make it. Don't forget about us.
Yeah, we talked about
street. Yeah, we talked about you guys. Yeah, way back in. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's all good. It's all good. What about you, man?
Just work, man.
Same
I just worked
thing.
a lot. I didn't really do much this weekend. The shorter weekend, so yeah, a little busy. But trucking along, keeping on. Yeah, yeah.
Nice.
Otherwise, we are drinking this week though.
Yes, we are drinking, and we have the centerpiece still. Just got such a nice, colorful, happy-looking bottle.
Yeah.
We are doing a little bit of absinthe, and we're drinking it the classic way, where it's just a little bit. It's just a sugar cube on a spoon, and you pour a little bit of cold water on top of it to dissolve it into the absinthe. You get that nice cloudy effect going on, and it's not too bad.
It's actually pretty good.
Yeah, we drank a little bit straight.
Yeah, last week,
and it's got a punch.
I was about to go 12 rounds last week. I was
punching holes in the wall, right?
Yeah. But yeah, this is good.
This is a much better.
Tasty,
yeah.
Yeah, you guys will see the short coming up here pretty soon.
Yes.
You guys can see how we made it.
Right. So
Yeah.
go get yourself some absinthe. The
Exactly.
Green Fairy.
Yep. Man,
It's nice with a little bit of the sweetness on it.
I enjoy that, man. I enjoy that.
It's like a good sipping kind of thing.
Yeah, I can sip on that for sure. Definitely a good choice. Nice, Mark.
Nice.
You did it again.
I did
it again.
All right, good night, everybody. That's my time. I want to go out on top.
That's what we did. All right, so we're getting to the show. Let's do a couple shout outs.
Yes.
I want to do a quick shout out actually to the new security guard at work. His name is Robin.
Okay.
I met him. He's brand new a couple days ago.
Yeah.
But he has a car with all the anime stickers on it.
Nice.
So I brought it up. We had a long conversation about anime and geek stuff. I gave him a card. He says he's gonna check it out.
Nice.
And he seems like a cool dude.
Nice. Very cool.
So, yeah.
That is awesome.
So Robin, thanks if you're
man.
listening, man. Thanks for checking it out.
You got a lot of episodes to catch up on.
Yeah,
Robin,
way behind, man. Way behind.
It's all good. It's all good. You're new to the party.
Yeah. But then also shout out to lights.camera.rant. And Comic Boys. Two I guess the podcast, or one's like a video thing, and the other one's a podcast.
Really?
Yeah, Comic Boys. He was talking crap on Flash, and I was like, you tell him, man.
You talk it.
You tell him, yeah. And I was like, I agree. Shout out to also fucking Lisa. That's somebody you know?
No, not at all. At least I don't think anyway.
Fucking, I feel like. Yeah, Jack follows her, it seems like, so she's somebody.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
All right.
All right. And then Sakina Hunter. Sakina Love 02. Thanks for following us also.
All right.
And then the last one was Roland the Polymath. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Follows this week. Thanks for checking out. Appreciate all you guys' support.
Yeah, man, we love that. Appreciate it.
Yeah, most
Send us a message, talk to us.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, do all that. We're everywhere. You can find us everywhere. So do that.
Yeah, man, we love that.
Yeah, for sure. All right, let's get into this this freaking comic book. All right, so Secret Invasion, just off the top of my head, or not off the top of my head, I had to do some research because it's been a while since I read it. But it was written by Brian Michael Bendis.
Yeah,
very famous comic book writer.
Yeah,
he's written a lot of huge comic books like Secret Invasion.
Right.
He did a lot of the Avengers, a lot of like Initiative, Mighty Avengers era. And then he did like pretty much all, he was like really credited with the kind of pioneering the Ultimate Universe. Because he wrote the he wrote a lot of the stories in there.
Yeah.
And he did, I think, all of or at least most of Ultimate Spider-Man, like 182 issues of Ultimate Spider-Man, and created Miles Morales at the end of that. And then wrote Miles Morales all the way through like 3 years. Yeah.
Very timely.
And then he's also credited with creating some major characters like Miles Morales. He created Ironheart. He created Maria Hill.
Like,
really? That was his character. I had no clue that he created her. Yeah,
very cool. Very cool.
Jessica Jones, he created her.
Oh wow.
Which is I thought she was around longer than that.
Yeah,
but yeah,
so did I actually.
Right? Yeah. So so he created a lot of like major characters.
Very cool.
In the comic book world. It is penciled by Lionel Francis Yu. Also a pretty famous artist, prolific artist. He's done a lot of books like Super Crooks, which was a Mark Millar book that we covered. He also did Superior, which is another Mark Millar book in the Millar world. But he's done a lot of Ultimate books. He's done Captain America. One of my favorite Superman comic books called Superman Birthright. He did the pencils for that as well. So he's a very pretty big artist in the comic book world.
Right. Wow.
Yeah. So really
good artwork. Yeah.
Superstar team to put this together, especially at the time in 2008, which was just like a prime time for Marvel comic books. That was when I started reading comic books, and man, I can't even like put into perspective how amazing that era of comic books were for Marvel. Yeah, like, it was groundbreaking. I don't know. It was amazing.
That's cool.
Yeah, so
good timing.
It was very exactly. I came right at a good time. I think. And so Secret Invasion was one of the big event titles. So Marvel or DC, all the major, or not Marvel and DC typically would do major event books every, I don't know, like 6 months maybe, or maybe more than that. And it'll just be a big crossover event with like a world shattering consequences and involving all the superheroes basically. And they would do that every, maybe 3-6 months, a year, or just, not a year, more than that.
Yeah.
They're cashing in on the money, but so they do these big event books, and this was one of those event books. This came out right after Civil War. So like,
yeah. When I was reading the one that you gave me, you can see the tie-in.
Yeah.
Right, and it was interesting. They're kind of saying like some of the stuff from what I had read, some of the stuff that happened in Civil War was kind of the result of us doing Skrull stuff.
Yeah, Skrulls. The Skrulls had a hand in some of the stuff going on, and like what was cool about that was that, so like from basically House of M in 2005 all the way to Siege, which
also Michael Bendis, right? House of M.
Yeah, it was also Bendis book. Oh yeah, there you go. From Siege, which was I think 2000 and like 9 or 10. That all of that was pretty much tied in. Like it would reference everything from House of M up to Siege, which is in all that era of books was just incredible. So it was cool as you see these big event books and it all kind of tie into each other at some point. It all culminates in Siege, which was also amazing. So, but yeah, so it was a cool era of comic books. Yeah. And basically, Secret Invasion is about the Skrulls kind of like inserting like sleeper agents in like within the Avengers, within major powers like political powers or Shield, basically all these places, and like essentially taking over the world.
Yeah,
And
I don't want to say they're super crafty, but they really are. They're essentially, and people have probably seen the first episode of the Secret Invasion. It's out on Disney Plus, but they really are. They're like a bunch of Mystiques, and like they all have that power. They all have the ability to just shift and change into whoever they want to turn into.
Yeah.
So it's incredibly hard to like track them, to stay on top of them, and they are. It's not even fair to say they're so good at that. They're so good at what they're doing. They can take over a person like completely.
Yeah.
Even it tripped me out too because in that one that I was reading, one of them turned into Susan.
Oh, Susan Storm?
Yeah. And just walked in. They did a retina scan on her. It's like, come on in. It's like, is that good?
Is that right? And then to the extent the Super Skrulls can have the abilities, have the abilities that come with it. So it's like that's even how do you know?
I remember as a kid too talking about Super Skrulls. I guess Super Skrulls, which is a scary thing to say, but that was one of the major Fantastic Four villains was Super Skrull.
Oh yeah,
and the Skrulls came out. That's where they first came out in Fantastic Four #2,
way back.
So back in the day, they were like one of the OG villains in the Marvel universe. And the Super Skrull didn't come out necessarily in that episode, but he came out and he had all the powers. I remember as a little kid seeing the Fantastic Four fighting this guy that had all their powers. And I was like, how are they going to beat this guy? He's got all their powers.
Right.
And he's big and he's green. He looks like he's like the Hulk's love child kind of thing. And it was like, how are you going to beat this guy? Yeah, he's got the things, hands and his forearms, and he's stretching and they're on fire. It's like, this guy, you can't beat this guy. You're going to die. It's the end of the series.
Right, yeah. Yeah, that's pretty scary, man. Yeah, it's pretty scary.
I wonder. I am curious if they're gonna go that route in this series.
Oh, yeah,
because you see it in the comic book. They've got like some Super Skrulls in there. They've got like powers that they've mimicked clearly, and like some powers is like I haven't seen anybody use those powers. So it's got like an arsenal of stuff to pull from.
And there's like they drop a whole army of them in New York. It's like this is like the main wave right here. It's pretty devastating.
And they were smoking people. They were smoking.
They're literally killing people. People were literally dying. Major characters too as well die, I think, throughout the whole series. Which is
they showed Vision crazy. In there getting like
demolished.
It's like geez, man.
Right. So
he was saying something like "shut up," like just. You see him like getting shot in the head. His head is exploding.
Right.
It's like, all right, guys, take it easy.
Freaking intense, man. And that was when because what was cool about it is that it was not necessarily violent, but it was a little more adult. Like it was there were consequences.
In a war.
And it was written really well. Like it was well written. That's when I think because of this era, I had so much respect for comic books at that point because I didn't realize that comic books are being written this way. Like back then, I was really into manga. I was really into things like that, and I was like, American comic books, like those are still around. You know what I mean? At that point, And then I read Civil War, which was the kind of the first big one. I mean, House of M came out first, and then Civil War after that. And I was like, this is incredible. Like this is well written. This is exciting. It's crazy. Yeah, seeing the heroes all fight each other, it's nuts. The scale of it. So that's what really kind of changed my whole life at that point. So I look back on it pretty fondly. But I think another cool thing about the book was that how like the kind of the espionage type stuff, but the whole
that Cold War-ish.
Yeah, exactly.
That's very cool.
The tagline I think for the original book was, "Who can you trust?" or something like that. Who can you trust, or like how do you fight when you can't trust anybody, kind of thing. Like it's like you don't know who your enemy is, right? Really, and it's like it's a really trippy situation to be in. Yeah, and as they start revealing who's the scroll further and further along, it's like, oh no way, no heaven way. Yeah, but yeah, it's pretty intense, man. It's good,
hearing you talk about it like this, it reminds me of, and I hadn't seen the whole thing, so forgive me, universe, Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah,
a lot of like this, like the incredible detail that goes into, like you said, these sleeper agents. Like some of them don't even know they're sleeper agents. Kind of thing. Yeah. So it sounds like it's going to be something along those. At least the comic book was along those lines.
Yeah, very much so. Same thing. Yeah, and then it was just like going back to how it all tied in. It was pretty cool how like Civil War, the ramifications of Civil War affected Secret Invasion. Yeah. And with Tony kind of taking over as like the leader of the world, essentially, like I can protect you guys with Stark Tech. Yeah. The 50 state initiative, we're gonna have heroes registered in every single state. The world, we're gonna be safe. We're gonna have this covered. And then the Skrulls use that. Yeah. They use that to their advantage. To take him down. Right. And that by the end of that, that's his fall from grace. And then the next series after that, he's basically not. He's just not part of the picture. Like he's not a bad guy, but like nobody. Yeah, like all the he loses.
Consequences. Some consequences.
Right. Yeah, he loses all his money because the military stops using Stark equipment and everything happens like that. So he's just like he's kind of. Yeah, really down.
Dang.
But it's kind of like if you're reading from House of M through Civil War, you're kind of like, he deserved it. If you're on the side of like the opposite, opposing the Team Cap, or Team Iron Man,
right?
So if you're opposing that, you're kind of like, he finally got what he deserved.
So
because like when I was reading that, I always kind of knew Iron Man was a little arrogant, a little bit. Could be kind of a D-bag sometimes. Yeah. But like in this series of books, it's like, man, he really is kind of a little much. Yeah. I mean, he has some justifiable like reasons for it, but like a lot of times, like, man, Tony, what are you doing, man? Yeah. So
but I think that kind of comes with some of the with the arrogance of the character. It always seems like it's realistic. You have someone that's done everything that he's done and is able to do, so a little arrogance seems like it would fit the character,
but ego for sure.
So I'm curious too how that might play out, how all this is going to play out, how it's going to translate into the series. A lot of the characters are not characters in the Marvel universe anymore, especially Tony Stark, is a big mover and shaker in that. So I'm curious as to how that is going to ultimately go.
I wanted the same thing because my big overall, like just for the MCU in general, is that they can never really match the scale of each of these major events. Like Civil War, for example, in the comic book, it's every hero that's anywhere is involved with this.
And this one is like a dozen.
Yeah, it's like maybe 10 or 12, give or take, of the heroes fighting each other, which was done well. Yeah. But like as far as the entire how much it affected the world was bigger in the comic book because there's so many of them. Yeah. Same with the Secret Invasion. Like there are so many heroes, so many people in power. And how many of them are replaced with Skrulls? You know what I mean? Like having to take on the whole world versus 10 or 12 superheroes. Like it's kind of a bigger scale. So it's kind of hard to match that. So I already, just based on the first episode, I already know it's probably gonna be pretty different. Yeah. But I wonder what they're going to incorporate. So I didn't see the whole first episode yet. Okay. Did you?
I did. I saw the whole thing. It has a pretty big consequence at the end of it.
Okay.
Which is pretty interesting. That was I didn't see that coming. But that's cool. It's definitely has to be more, because they do have elements of the Captain Marvel movie, because you had like that handful of scrolls that, were good, so to speak. And, but it is cool to see. It's, years have gone by, they're still dealing with the consequences of the blip and all that kind of stuff. And there are scrolls that are like, even the good ones are like, you know what, this isn't working for us. This whole good thing that you guys were trying to set up is not working. So there you got this radical, fringe going on.
Yes, I always had wondered, because of the Captain Marvel movie, like when like the Skrulls are supposed to be the bad guys,
right? And
then in that movie you find out they're not the bad guys. And I was like, well, how are they going to do Secret Invasion? If they're actually good guys when Skrulls have always been bad guys. You know what I mean? So when I saw that, I was like, oh, subverting expectations.
Here we
go.
I kind of figured that probably was a big subverting expectations in that moment. I did figure, though, that was just a small group. I didn't figure that was going to be the representation for all the Skrulls.
Right.
But that might have been a, you didn't see that coming, did you?
Yeah, we got you.
We got you.
Like, nah, you do it all the time.
You do it all the time. We already saw it coming. But the bad scrolls, they're definitely out there.
Okay.
It has to be more scaled down, clearly, because they don't have the superheroes and probably just realistically like the budget and whatnot that goes into it.
Yeah.
So it might be possible to tell like a good spy story.
Yeah.
Well, let me put it this way: it is possible to tell good spy stories.
Is it possible for Marvel Studios to tell a good spy story?
I didn't say that.
You just wanted to throw it out there because you knew I would say it. More the character. That's my characteristic.
I'm more blunt about it.
Yeah.
No, they can't.
Because I was immediately worried when I read a tagline saying, "This one's going to be different than everything else we've done. It's going to be serious, and it's gonna be, it's gonna be more of a thriller." And I was like, you guys said the same thing about Moon Knight, and there's a giant hippo in that. So I was like, it's not that serious. Not as serious as you guys think you're making it out to be. So I'm always like worried. I'm even more wary now when they try to market it like that. And I'm like, okay, well, we'll see. I'll see when it comes out.
They're really setting themselves up when they say we're doing all of this, and it's like actually just you're pitching way over here, and you just took like one or two steps away from what you normally do. That's not a big change,
Exactly. When you say the words "we're not pulling any punches," I'm thinking like at least Daredevil. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I know, right?
Like, there's no way. There's no way. That's what they mean by that. So but I'm only like, I think I'm 25 minutes in, so halfway through that first episode.
Okay.
And so far it seems pretty like it's like a slow burn, sort of, which is nice. It's a nice change of pace, for Marvel movies or Marvel project. So that was kind of nice to see. I mean, I'm definitely,
I am interested in still watching. You know what I mean? I'm not looking at it like, that's dumb, that's whatever. I think a slow burn is a good way to describe it. They're taking their time, kind of building up. They're kind of setting up the concepts and the plot points and all that kind of stuff. But they are, again, I think it could end up being pretty good. It could be one of their better series, hopefully. I mean, it's only one episode in, obviously, so that's a lot to say.
Right,
But the potential's there, and it just depends on how smart the writing is, and I don't know if I'm going to say these two things. I don't know if they have that kind of talent on deck to make a good like kind of spy thriller, because you need someone that knows something about that to make a good story about it. But even if you take that aside, if you've got like just smart writers that can write a good and interesting story, I wonder again about, we need you to do this, we need you to do that, we need you to,
keep it in this box. You're going
exactly
a little outside the box here.
So that's always going to be, I think, a thing for them. There's always, no matter what they say or do, there's always going to be that box. No matter what. So so far they can go.
I'm gonna take it back to like Edgar Wright, man. I was reading a lot of articles. I'm watching a lot of Edgar Wright content about some of his interviews and that kind of stuff. And I was listening to him talk about Ant-Man for a little bit, briefly. And then the original person he wrote it with also talked about it. And basically, it was just like, they wanted a Marvel movie. They didn't want an Edgar Wright movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Edgar Wright wrote the first draft of the script. And then he was working on this movie. He was attached to it for like 6 years or 8 years.
Wow,
a long time
jeez.
that because I guess Ant-Man was supposed to be one of the first movies to come out.
Yeah.
And they decided to change it. And then they decided, well, let's do a draft without Edgar Wright. Let's have somebody else write the draft of it, and then without his input, and we'll see what we get. And then then just kind of didn't work out to that. And then Edgar was like, I don't want to be a director for hire.
Yeah.
I want to make a movie that I want to make. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he just kind of left. So it's like another example of like that box.
Yeah.
You can't go too far out of this square.
Yeah.
Which is what the MCU is, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of interesting that you brought that up, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's funny too because you can still see his fingerprint in that movie.
Exactly.
You can still see the elements in there. Probably some of they're not subtle, but they're some of the best.
Some of the best parts,
of the movie.
That was probably hit. That's for sure
he's like, as soon as you see it, I didn't know Edgar Wright was involved with that movie originally.
Yeah.
But as soon as I saw it, I mean, it immediately made me think of him and his comedy and his style of writing and directing and all that kind of thing. That's like, oh, that's really smart. I feel like that's something that this guy would do. And sure enough,
that was
Sure enough.
and there had to, because I don't think he really filmed anything. But I'm sure there were storyboards and there were ideas thrown around, and they kept some of the stuff that he said
I'm
he
sure.
wanted to do.
Because they had to look at him and be like, oh, this is too good.
Yeah, yeah. And then I think because Edgar Wright brought on Paul Rudd, he brought on Evangeline Lilly. They came on because of him. Like they wanted, and then when he decided to leave, Paul Rudd almost left.
Wow.
And then they're just like, well, Paul, why don't you come and co-write the script a little bit, like help us out with the script, and you can write it with the new guy. And he's like, oh, okay, all right, I'll give it a whack. And then he stayed on, you know. But it was pretty crazy, man.
Funny.
Yeah, but I mean, how you lose a guy like Edgar Wright, man? That's beyond me.
It's pretty dumb.
So that's like super interesting. That I don't know, like, and I don't really see them towing that line very often, like outside of what their formula is, unfortunately. So I don't know if if this is the one to maybe push the boundary a little bit,
right,
or not, you know.
Yeah.
But like it remains to be seen. We got 5 more episodes to go, right?
Yeah, I'm not gonna hold my breath, unfortunately. You know, hopefully they can still do something good, but I'm not gonna hold my breath on that factor. I know we're not talking about the TV show, but there's one thing I love Samuel L. Jackson. I just wish he wasn't so I don't know, Samuel L. Jackson in this. I wish he was a little more like Nick Fury or just a little more like a character as opposed to kind of playing, again, himself. Like the kind of the same role that he typically plays. You know, there's always that element of that in there of him being this, urban, cool talker kind of thing. I would like to see
a little more Nick Fury, a little more special
just him being like a whole different character, not always kind of falling into that
same kind of like character type.
Yeah, exactly. Unfortunately,
typecast, and that because like when in Secret Invasion when Fury shows up, he's actually a pretty big deal. He's a pretty big deal in the comic book. He turns the tide kind of a lot, you know. And I keep forgetting because Samuel Jackson is so synonymous with it now. Yeah, and that's everyone's perception of Nick Fury. But when you read the books, it's like, oh, that's he's an agent. He's a badass agent. Yeah. And so it's kind of and then Samuel Jackson's in the 70s, man. So it's like I'm getting a little old, man. You're probably not gonna be doing too many action scenes.
Right. Wow.
Yeah. So
I keep forgetting. I forget how old he is.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
Don't say black, don't cry. Can I say that?
Yeah. Yeah. You can. Yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
I think you can. Yeah.
You better.
Yeah. I can just say like a quarter of it. Yeah. But yeah. So the way that the Secret Invasion comic book ends, basically, spoilers if you ever read the comic book. For the comic book, yeah. And I think that they could still tie this in, sort of. Yeah. The way that ends. So at this point in the whole arc of things, Norman Osborn is running the Thunderbolts. Right. Like his team is the Thunderbolts at that point. Which are the like
Suicide Squad kind of thing.
Yeah, they're like the villain versions of like of the Avengers. Yeah. But he has Bullseye as Hawkeye. He has like Venom is like the Spider-Man, Yeah. And so he has all these characters that are like basically the evil versions of the main characters, but he's trying to still be the good guys, quote unquote.
Yeah.
So at this point, he has the Thunderbolts. And then at the very end, he basically gets the kill shot on the Queen, who is Jessica Drew, Spider-Woman.
Yeah.
He gets the kill shot, and it's broadcasted everywhere, but he sees it, and like he literally gets the keys to the kingdom after that. He's like, "You're the hero, Norman Osborn. Stark is out. You're in.
Yeah.
You're running everything now." Essentially, is what happens. And so then he ends up taking over and becoming the Dark Avengers, which is the comic book run after that. And he runs everything, and that leads into Siege, which is pretty crazy. But so what I think what I'm getting at is that I think like they're already putting the Thunderbolts together in the comic books or in the movies.
Yeah.
With
what's her name?
from Seinfeld.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Eileen. I think her name is Seinfeld's
Yeah,
Eileen, but she. So she's putting together the Thunderbolts, I think, in this world with like U.S. Agent and all
Who else does she have?
Black Widow.
Yeah, the Black Widow version.
Yeah.
I can't think of her name right now.
Right, yeah. So she's putting together that team, I think, is what it looks like. So maybe that's gonna be some kind of tie-in. That could be how it leads into that era, maybe.
Yeah.
To where the Avengers kind of fall from grace. And now the Dark Avengers are the ones taking over, or Thunderbolts. Yeah. So
okay, so
something that could be if they're gonna go off the comic book, maybe that's a way to tie that in, because maybe that's the whole grand scheme of things, because they've hinted at that.
Yeah.
Through these Disney Plus series, the Thunderbolts are getting put together. So maybe gotta be an interesting way to play the next era of superhero movies.
Yeah.
Is that the superheroes are not as like popular or not on top. They're not the heroes because the bad guys save the day.
Yeah.
So I don't know, something like that.
That could be good. I mean, that could be good. You got it. I think you did.
Flying around.
I think you did.
Everywhere.
Yeah. If you see my all eyes,
Yeah.
darting around.
Yeah.
So that could be good. That could be a good save.
Yeah.
For it, or I shouldn't say save necessarily, but that could be a way they can tie it all.
Yeah.
Together
and send everything
into a whole different thing.
Era, like, because that if the good guys are kind of on the like the downside, I guess, or whatever, wherever they are, that could be an interesting dynamic to lead into the next big bad or next big crisis they need to come back for or whatever. I don't know.
You're right. Yeah. So they're trying to pull in Kang or whatever's going on with Kang right now.
Yeah. The actor might not.
Yeah,
be
I know the actor may not be in it anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know. Should be an innocent until
proven
guilty kind of thing. But what do I know? I'm only an American. I apologize.
Yeah, but if he is guilty, dude, what a way to throw away a gold mine.
Yeah,
he was about to be freaking
keys to the kingdom, right?
Right. Yeah,
Norman Osborn.
Yeah, exactly.
He's about to get it right then and there. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's too bad. Unless he did it, then fuck him.
Yeah, so exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But yeah, so I mean, that's what I was thinking about as I was reading, because I hadn't read Secret Invasion in a long time. It has probably been 10 years since I've read it.
Yeah.
And I was reading through it. I was kind of getting reminded of like where I was at the time, getting into comic books and really loving everything and trying to read as much stuff as I could.
Yeah.
And then thinking about how it could be done in the MCU.
Right.
And those are some thoughts I kind of had about where it was going.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, Secret Invasion, like, it wasn't, I don't know. I could just say it wasn't as good as I remember it being, because it does kind of end just a big superhero battle, as like a lot of things do, I feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a big superhero battle, then Norman Osborn's the hero kind of thing. So that like kind of got a little, like, I felt like there's more to it when I was reading it back then.
I mean, everything apparently, going along that journey until you get to the big, superhero splash at the end. All that intriguing stuff along the way was pretty good still.
Yeah.
All that was really good.
Yeah, all the reveals and stuff and the all that spy stuff, I guess, if you want to call it that. Yeah, it was really interesting. So yeah.
Sometimes I feel like they just, they want to do like, here's what you're asking for, people. Here's the money shot. Here's the cool thing that you always want to see.
Right, yeah.
So here it is, kind of thing.
Yeah, true that.
What are the bad guys doing when all the superheroes are fighting?
In this?
We need to be like, okay, we're just going to wait a little bit longer.
Yeah, that's basically what they're doing.
We're going to kill them.
Because there's the Thunderbolts, but also like the Hood, he has his own crew. The leader of the Cabal or something. Yeah, I think the Cabal or some other bad guy crew.
Yeah.
And they're all kind of hanging back, and they're like, yeah, let's let this play out a little bit. And then they jumped in and did some fighting. Okay. And then as everything was wrapping up, they're like, yeah, we should probably leave because we're bad guys.
right.
So they're kind of in and out. Yeah, they're here and there, but
Okay.
Yeah, because they're kind of like, well, if the world gets destroyed, that's bad for business.
Yes,
so
the classic.
We gotta step in. Yeah,
The
kind of
classic.
thing. Yeah, the classic. Yeah. But yeah, otherwise, that's the local comic as a whole.
I think I've said this before.
Yeah.
I don't know if I said it on the show. Did I? I don't know. My prediction about Black Widow.
Oh, did you think she was
okay, listen.
Yeah.
Listen. If this is proven correct, if this is proven right,
yeah, that she was a Skrull the whole time.
yeah, that Black Widow. My thinking is Black Widow, in some form, might actually be a Skrull. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure if it's the one that died in the movie, or whether it's the one that we see somewhere within her movie. Because I don't know if that's where maybe she might have. You know, at the end of that movie, the Black Widow that we see is actually a Skrull.
Oh, I see. Yeah,
operative kind of thing. Maybe the real one is with Nick Fury up on Saber or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah,
you know,
that's true.
And these guys, they can go very deep undercover. You know, when they're playing these roles. So maybe if she had, you know, this Skrull had been undercover Black Widow for a long time, maybe she kind of, you know. She thinks and she feels like she is Black Widow to the point where she doesn't even realize she's not.
Right, yeah.
Kind of thing.
Yeah,
you know?
there's a part in the Secret Invasion book where the Skrull that's posing as Mar-Vell thinks he's Mar-Vell for a long time. He's like brainwashed to think he's Mar-Vell for a long time, and has like the whole pride of the Kree people and all kind of stuff. And when he finds out he's a Skrull, he like F's him up, and he like goes to find the real Mar-Vell, and he's like, you need to carry on the Kree heritage because I'm a fraud kind of thing.
And the Skrull and the Skrull and the Skrulls and the Kree are like, as far as I know anyway, they're really big arch enemies, right?
Yeah, they hate each other.
They're as bad as it gets.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So when he like realizes he's a Skrull,
wow.
But like he's like trying to like pass it on like to more the real Mar-Vell. Yeah, he's kind of like he's that far undercover. Where he messes up with his values, you know.
Right. Yeah. Funny. He's got like that Stockholm syndrome.
Exactly.
Kind of
yeah. Basically. Yeah. Yeah. So that'd be interesting.
So that's my. I'm thinking she might be. Yeah. She might be a Skrull. That's my prediction.
Because there won't be this that. There's gonna have to be some reveals of some characters that have been Skrulls the whole time.
Yeah.
I think that'd be a cool thing.
That'd be very interesting if they did. Very right.
And then we find out like, oh shit, that person. Yeah, the whole time. Yeah, which is insane. So I don't know. That'd be cool.
Yeah, I see. Here's my thing. I don't know if I shouldn't say this because then it just makes me sound like, oh, I'm so clever. But I don't know. Are they that good? Are they that clever that they would play the long game like that?
No, hell no. There's no chance in hell there. I don't even know. I mean, I can't say when they had actually came up with the idea. Let's put Secret Invasion in as a live action thing. Yeah. I mean, it could have been a while ago. I'm sure it could have been a while ago.
I mean, it's always years, you know. Yeah. The planning is always back, you know, in the past before we actually see.
Right. I'm sure they probably even shot it a year or a year and a half ago. You know what I mean? Before now we're getting the actual show out. But I can't imagine when Iron Man came out, they're like, okay, Iron Man's gonna be he's gonna be a Skrull.
Right. Yeah. That I agree. Yeah, we will not see that, I'm sure.
Yeah. There's no way they've thought that far back.
Yeah. And the thing is, like the show that we're seeing so far, and again, it's only one episode. It's very like Skrull centered. Yeah. You know, it's dealing with the Skrulls and, you know, their loss of their, you know, having a place of their own, which is kind of in the comic book as well. Yeah. I think it kind of starts off like that or whatever. So yeah, there's that aspect of it. And the aspect of them kind of being refugees, on this planet. It kind of reminded me like this whole new Asgard kind of thing. Oh, right. It really reminds me a little bit too of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, with this whole like underground, behind the scenes, you know, movement trying to do these different terrorist activities. You know, that nobody really knows about, or this behind the scenes kind of thing.
Or even Winter Soldier when Hydra has infiltrated Shield.
Yeah, true. Yeah, that's true too. Yeah. So it could be interesting to see how far back.
They're just copying themselves.
Yeah, they're just copying themselves.
It's not that original. Yeah,
they're copying themselves.
Yeah. typical MCU stuff. Yeah, anything else to add about Secret Invasion?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm still looking forward to the series. I'm definitely going to finish reading the comics and all that kind of stuff. So
yeah, dude, if you are interested, Mark, I almost called you Marvel.
Stop.
If you're interested, I think I have all the books from House of M up to Siege, and that's a ride, man. Like
that's a ride.
I think I'm remembering. I mean, I might go back and check them all out again too, just to make sure they're as good as I remember.
Yeah.
Man, the way it all plays out and culminates in Siege is freaking awesome, man.
It sounds pretty cool that you have this big event that splashes right into a big event that turns right into another big event.
And it all affects the other ones. Yeah. And then, man, Siege it's only 4 issues, man. Siege is 4 issues, which you'd think it'd be like 10 or whatever, 8. But man, it's 4 issues of freaking it's amazing. Yeah. Because I'll do that as Guardians and has a lot to do with like Sentry and all that kind of stuff. Man, it's freaking cool.
I like Sentry.
Yeah, right. So it's probably it's one of the coolest Sentry stories for sure.
Nice.
I'll try to track this down and see if I have them. And you can check them out if you want.
Yeah,
if you're digging Secret Invasion, man.
Yeah.
The rest of the tie-ins are gonna be freaking awesome. For you. Yeah, everything leading up before that and after. So
nice.
Yeah, I'll track them down for you. See if
all right, man. Respect. Appreciate that.
Yeah,
brother.
for sure, man. I got you, man. I got you.
And again, like I said, predictions.
Yeah, those are predictions. Yeah, we'll see if we were right.
If Scarlet, if whatever, Black Widow, Scarlett Johansson, turns out to be a Skrull and they bring her back, man, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm walking on the street, buck naked, just like slapping everybody in the face.
He's gonna knock on MCU's door, like, "Where's my check?
Yeah,
I wrote this for you.
I wrote this for you.
Yeah,
right.
Pre when you guys did it. Yeah,
yeah. Because I don't know if I said it when we did the Black Widow episode.
You said it a long time ago.
I did say it a long time ago.
I had to go through the archives and try to find when you talked about it. But yeah, it was a while ago.
Shut up, this guy.
Yeah. But yeah, this is a great example of like the source material. Like you guys got to go out and check out where this stuff comes from.
Yeah.
Because like for me, I was kind of sad when I was reading this because like of how excited I was about comic books back then. And I'm still into it now. I've been kind of trying to get back into it as much as I can. But like how excited I was then, and then once you see it translated on screen, it's not always as good.
Right.
And like I know you're a big fan of Civil War. I wasn't a giant fan of the movie, but because the comic book was just
and I get that. I get that.
Yeah.
If like this much is going on in the comic book, and then there's literally like this much going on in the movie. Yeah. I think it fit for the movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
But as the comic book reader that has read that story, you're like, where's all this?
Exactly. Yeah. Where's the whole like the large I don't mean larger than life, but like it's a superhero movie or sorry larger than life. But like that, just the impact of it. It's like it feels so much
that world shaking impact as opposed to a airport shaking.
Yeah, or just this
a runway shaking.
This agency's internal issues versus like the entire world dealing with, And everything doesn't have to be that big. I understand that, but I really wish that the MCU could capture like what is amazing about the comic books. Yeah, and I feel like most people just watch the movies and watch the series, but if that's all you do, you're really doing yourself a disservice by ignoring the actual source material of some of this stuff. So I'm not sure where Secret Invasion is going. I can be hopeful that it might be good. Yeah. But if it's not, you got the source material right here.
Yeah, true. You can go back to that.
Yeah, and even if you're not really like, I mean, I get that people aren't comic book fans, but they are MCU fans. Right. That's cool. And if you're just in it for the entertainment, but like, I don't know. I wish.
Yeah, you should do yourself that favor. Yeah. I mean, if that's the case, if you are, you are enjoying some of this Marvel stuff, I feel like it wouldn't be that big of a jump to go to the source material.
Right, to go read.
It's fun and it's easy to read. It's nothing really crazy or complicated.
Civil War is 7 issues, man. That'll take you 45 minutes to read the whole thing, probably maybe an hour. I think I actually like time myself. On average, it's like 15 minutes to read a book. Book, So not big.
Let me ask you this really quick. So, would you want do you want the Marvel movies or just comic book movies in general to? For me, I understand. I feel like I understand why. I guess you probably understand why too. You can't capture that comic book element in a movie because the comic book has like, 100 years of established characters that have been around and they come and they go. Like there was no way to do Civil War. Especially at that point.
At that point, yeah.
You'd have to do it to get it at that scale. You'd have to make Civil War like 20 years from now, where you introduce like the mass amount of characters, and it would almost be it's almost too much to put in a movie sometimes. It'd be like there's too much going on, like Spider-Woman, Mockingbird, all these,
right? Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just it's like there's too much going on. No characters would have any sort of development to them or whatever. So it would be a little tricky to do, I would imagine.
Yeah,
but that's what you would like to see?
Not necessarily, not the scale. I mean, that's where I got it from, right? That's where my excitement came from. But I think I talked about this one time in the past, but I'm cool with things are like changed, right? But I'd like them to be equally good. Like different, but still good.
Yeah, I remember you saying that before.
For me, a lot of the MCU is different and not as good. You know what I mean? Because the MCU follows that very specific formula.
Yeah.
That kind of makes all the movies and series feel similar, feel the same, at least tonally.
Yeah.
And that doesn't leave a lot of room to give us a little more intriguing stories, more intriguing characters. You could do Secret Invasion with the roster that they have, 100%. Yeah. Just tell me a good story though.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to fluff it up with a typical MCU CGI battle at the end of it.
Yeah.
And that's it. And it's gonna change everything going forward. But like, is it really as much as they say? Yeah. I mean, even now, does Civil War have a lot of an impact on the movies? Now,
not too much.
Not
Civil
really,
War,
right?
I wouldn't say so.
Yeah, not so much anymore, right? I mean, at the time of the Infinity Saga, it did.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think, now it's like, what happened?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. What happened with the Accords?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
That's
where are the Accords
still
at?
going on?
Because the Accords are still in Secret Invasion. You can see there's still animosity between the heroes, right? Clearly, and then even going into Siege and everything, it's all still, even up to Siege, there's still a lot less mutants. There's still like 90% of the mutant population is gone because of House of M.
Yeah,
even at this point, so it's like all these things like still play a part. But I don't know. I feel like they try to do these big event things in the movies. And then try to get you excited about it and try to shock you, and then it doesn't really matter after that.
Once they've done the big spectacle.
And I get everything can't be translated like it's impossible to translate it perfectly. And I wouldn't want a direct carbon copy because then it's like, I'm already seeing what I just read.
Yeah.
But it'd be nice to be just as entertained. Just in a different way, I guess.
Just some sort of good writing.
Yeah.
It was good writing in the comic book.
Yeah.
That did it. So,
I mean, Mark Millar is still to this day one of my favorite comic book writers, and he really changed comic books at the time. Like there had never been like a story of that magnitude with heroes against heroes. Like, that was crazy.
Right.
So.
Not at that level. I mean, that's always a little thing they do in comics. Like, oh, guess what, guys? Thor's gonna fight, Thing.
Yeah.
Or Hulk's gonna fight the Thing. You always want to see it. Yeah. And there it is in that one issue, and then it's like back to normal kind of thing.
Spider-Man's kind of stealing, or he's being, bad or whatever.
Yeah, what can it mean?
Yeah, exactly. There's those moments, but like to have
not to that scale.
Not to this scale.
Full blown.
Yeah, with the consequences as well. Coming after it. So I don't know. I think I just kind of I miss that.
Yeah.
When it comes to the movies, and I wish they had a little bit more of that, a little more of the intrigue. I think. Yeah. So maybe I'm not 18, 17 anymore when I was reading comic books.
True.
So I'm a different person than I was then too. But I don't know.
Yeah. It's all good, man.
Yeah,
but
that's that.
Yeah.
So go out, read Secret Invasion, or just listen to our podcast about it. Give you guys a little bit of context about the show coming out. It's probably gonna be a lot different, but just know where it comes from. Otherwise, anything we're into this week?
Man, I have not had
nothing. I imagine, right?
Anything this week.
Yeah, I imagine you did, man. But just real quick, I don't know why, but I just started watching The League again, even though I just finished it.
Okay.
So I need something funny to watch, and then I was watching that, a couple episodes of Futurama here and there. I'm just trying to have something in the background. Like on my lunch breaks, I gotta have something I can veg out on. I don't really like watching anything new on my lunch break. I just had something to veg out on, so I did that. And then I started watching this movie called Cyrus. It's a movie with John C. Reilly, Marissa Tomei.
Marissa Tomei.
And Jonah Hill. And
Really?
It's one of the Duplass brothers movies. It's one of their bigger budget movies that they got. And most of the movie is improv. Like it's mostly improv. I know I watched it a long time ago when I was younger.
Yeah.
But I didn't know it was Duplass brothers. I didn't know it was improv. So I'm watching it again.
Yeah.
And it's a lot. I'm liking it a lot more than I did
Oh,
when I was a kid.
nice.
So
That's
yeah.
cool.
So I'm trying to get through that because I'm really on this indie film kind of kick because we got some stuff we're working on.
Right on. Yeah. Exactly.
But other than that,
One thing I did watch, I only saw a little bit of it, is they have a new Walking Dead series out. I can't remember what it's called right now.
I think I saw a little
I saw a little bit of it on Pluto. It was with Negan and Maggie.
Oh.
They were in like New York or whatever. So it's like some of the scenes looked really like it. When they were in New York and it was nighttime, it looked really cool. It looked really kind of creepy or whatever. So, I need to go and check that out. Because I was like, I've been through with The Walking Dead for a long time. And then when I heard they were going to put out another Walking Dead or another few Walking Dead series, I'm like, don't do it, guys. You already milked this one.
Just let it go.
Yeah, just let it go, man. Just go out. You can't go out on top. You've already... kind of wore it into the ground, but it actually looked pretty interesting, or at least some parts of it. I see a lot of the same kind of unoriginal things that they did in the series, at least for the last seasons. But I do want to check it out though. So
I wonder what's is there a reason why Negan and Maggie are hanging out?
Maggie's son Herschel has been kidnapped.
Oh, okay.
So and the guy that kidnapped him is after Negan. So Maggie goes to get Negan to go get her son, and wackiness ensues.
And there's somehow it's like, I'm going to understand you a little bit more now. Forced to be together.
Yeah,
even though you murdered my husband.
Right, and her son now, he's a teenager, so it's been a long time.
Yeah.
And Negan is clearly not quite. I mean, he can be like a cocky, guy, obviously, but he's not that guy anymore. Yeah. Or at least he seems like he's not that guy anymore.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's weird because does Maggie accept that the guy that killed her husband is dead? That guy does not exist anymore? Or does she just look at him and say, I know it's you and I want to kill you?
Yeah.
But she's let him, she hasn't killed him after all this time.
Right.
So I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, what's the actor that plays Negan? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I know. Any other time you would have asked me.
Any other time, he played the comedian. He played, that's not about the crap out of me. Anyway, that's not important, I guess.
Go ahead and say what you want to say. I'm going to do a little bit of research.
Yeah, I was actually going to say I watched one more thing, but I completely forgot about it. So not important. No, I guess not that important. But that's it, huh?
That's it, though. That's it.
We can call it there.
Yeah.
I think I feel pretty good.
Fighting me, so.
I feel pretty good about that. Yeah. Anyway, you guys can check us out anywhere. We're at The Gots Pod on Instagram. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter. I don't know that one much anymore.
We're on all this stuff.
Yeah, we have our shorts on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. We're putting out stuff every day, basically. So you guys should check it out.
Exactly.
Yeah. And if you can, leave a 5-star review or a 5-star rating, 5-star review on Apple if you can. And it helps us really build the podcast, which is what we're trying to do. We're working really hard on this.
Yeah,
as you guys can tell.
Right.
Yeah.
They can tell.
They can tell. Yeah. Otherwise, get ready for Secret Invasion.
Yeah. Fingers crossed.
Yes. Maybe it's going to be good.
Optimistic.
Yeah.
Get yourself some absinthe. Drink along.
Read the comic book if you can.
Yes, do that, definitely.
Yeah, exactly. It's pretty good. And
keep listening to the greatest podcast known to all mankind.
Yeah.
Called Geek Off The Street.